Do you want to appear more attractive to your preferred partner type? Do you want to appear more intelligent in the workplace? Do you want to look better, feel better, be better? Well, I can't actually help you with any of that. But I can help you talk with either a British or an American accent. So how does that work? Well, this video is going to show you the 5 differences between a generic British and a generic American accent. So there are 5 rules: the A rule, the O rule, the R rule, the T rule, and another A rule. You could also call this the 5-finger method. A-O-R-T-A. I'm a British American actor. I've been over here for about 25 years, so when I'm talking about the video, don't listen to me, because it's all mixed up. Just listen to my examples. Alright, let's get started.
The O rule.
So the first rule is the O rule, or the A to O rule. Now I want to note that the O sound isn't found in the American accent. The closest would be roll, which is more of an O sound. The O sound's a little bit shorter, so it's O. Example: the fox in socks drops rocks on his iPod box. Becomes: the fox in socks drops rocks on his iPod box. Alternatively: did you go shopping at Stop and Shop? You should have gone to Amazon.com. Becomes: did you go shopping at Stop and Shop? You should have gone to Amazon.com. So to summarize the first rule, the O rule, it's the A to O rule. Fox in socks, fox in socks. Let's move on.
The A1 rule.
This is the A to O rule. Example: go past the last classroom and ask the headmaster. Becomes: go past the last classroom and ask the headmaster. Alternatively, as Jimi Hendrix said, blast from the past becomes blast from the past.
The A2 rule.
It's the A to O rule. Tall Paul is at the mall becomes Tall Paul is at the mall. We all play ball in the fall becomes we all play ball in the fall.
The R rule.
Now the R rule really only applies to R's in the middle or the end of words. So, for example, R, or, ear would become ah, or, ear. In the R's that I'm talking about, in an American accent, the R sound involves either ah, or ear, and then the tongue comes up at the end. So it's R, or, here. In a British accent, the tongue stays still. You start the same and then you freeze it. Ah, or, ear. And now it's time for some examples. So, we are here for their poor hair becomes we are here for their poor hair. Alternatively, it's far by car from Mars to the stars, but there are bars everywhere. Becomes, it's far by car from Mars to the stars, but there are bars here and there everywhere. So to summarize the R rule, in an American accent, these R's roll up: R, or, ear. In a British accent, they do not. They start the same and then are frozen: R, or, ear. It's far by car from Mars to the stars becomes it's far by car from Mars to the stars. Let's move on.
The T rule.
Now the T rule generally only applies for T's in the middle of the words. They're usually double T's. It's a little bit tricky because the T rule is often combined with the R rule. Examples: the fatter gator is a better putter than the hotter otter. Becomes, the fatter gator is a better putter than the hotter otter. The T's that I'm referring to in an American accent are pronounced like D's: better, hotter, otter. In a British accent, these T's are sounded as T's. Better, butter, hotter, otter. And of course it is complicated by the R rule being included as well, but practice makes perfect. So to summarize the T rule, it's quite simply the T's in the middle of the words are pronounced like D's in American, hotter, better, putter, and are pronounced like T's in a British accent, hotter, better, putter. Okay? Easy. So that's it. 5 rules aorta. Let's summarize. Rule 1, the O rule. It's the A to O rule. Fox, fox. Rule 2, the A1 rule. A to O rule. Pass, pass. Rule 3, the A2 rule. A to O. Ball, ball. Rule 4, the R rule. R to A. Car, car. And rule 5, the T rule. Better, butter, better, butter. 5 rules, 5 fingers, aorta. And now I'm going to go over some particularly challenging cases that cross the pond or cross the pond. The first one is the word water or water. So why is water so difficult to pronounce on the other side of the pond? Well, quite simply, it's 3 rules at once. So it's the A rule, the R rule, and the T rule, all at the same time. I'll break it down for you. Wa becomes war. Wad becomes wart. Water becomes water. Water, water. 3 rules at once. Practice makes perfect. And now a word that is particularly dear to my heart, and that is, of course, the word murderer or murderer. Why? Why should I be able to pronounce this word? I work for the Murder Mystery Company, which meant for a long time I couldn't even say the name of the company I worked for. So I went to a video and sorted it out. So murder or murderer becomes murder or murderer. If you want to have some practice, here's a good one. If a murderer murders another murderer, is it murder or is it not murder? Because the other murderer murdered first. Becomes, if a murderer murders another murderer, is it murder or is it not murder? Because the other murderer murdered first. You just gotta practice. Finally, let's talk about names. These can be quite different. I'll give you an example. John, Bob, Todd, Tom, Ron, Rob, Don, and Rob becomes John, Bob, Todd, Tom, Ron, Rob, Don, and Rod. Earl, Pearl, Myrtle, and Shirley become Earl, Pearl, Myrtle, and Shirley. Don, Sean, Paul, and Saul become Dawn, Sean, Paul, and Saul. Remember, a good actor is a good listener. That's why we have 2 ears and 1 mouth. Oh!
Cross the pond.